Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is a room tour of my third bat cave, my bat cave 3.0. I just finished building the Moduspaces that you see on the left hand side and thought it'd be a good opportunity to show the collection as it currently stands. I filmed a few videos in my room before, but haven't really shown off the room itself or the layout of it. These cases are great. I ordered them the same month that I closed escrow on the house, so it's taken almost a year and a half, but they're definitely worth the wait. I actually ordered more before I even received these, and luckily the wait time has gone up quite a bit, or I'm sorry, gone down. So I should be getting the rest of my cases by the summer. Fingers crossed. All right, I'll start off with the entrance to the office. There's a poster of the greatest animated series of all time. And above it, some Funko masks. I think they display pretty well and add a lot of color. And a couple Lego pieces on the wall. And then part of my 1966 collection. That 18-inch Batman from Funko is one of 700. And it's kind of a funny story. My wife actually bought me one after we saw it in person, but I had already bought myself one. So I ended up with two temporarily. I'm very thoughtful of her. And this Factory Entertainment Bat Cave, I believe it's 1/50th scale, and I've already reviewed it. You can check out the review on my channel. It doesn't have batteries in it, so it's not lit up right now. And this button says it's from 1966. So if that's accurate, then it's officially the oldest item in my collection. Even older than me. All right, and this is the view when I walk into my room. Immediately on the right, you can see my collection of life-size cowls and a couple other props and masks. And on each wall beyond that is my cases. To the right is 6-scale figure cases. And on the left, larger cases for 1/6 vehicles, mostly Batmobiles. And in the middle above my desk is a Jazz Inc. Diorama's 1989 Batwing in 6 scale. This thing is huge, and I already did a couple videos on this as well. If you want to check out my other videos. I'm almost out of wall space because I have other large cases that are going to cover the rest of that wall. So I couldn't hang this thing from the wall really, or couldn't mount it to the wall. So I hung it from the ceiling with my dad using metal wires. And I actually got quite a few comments that it was pretty unsafe and that it was going to fall, but these are very strong, sturdy wires, but they do create a gap between the wing and the main body. So I think I'm going to get around that by using some high tensile fishing line. I need to look more into that. And I'm also going to raise it because I've hit my head on it a few times above my desk. Speaking of which, I recently got my desk as well, as it was on back order for a while, from Secret Lab. And it is the Dark Knight version. Hopefully the logo is showing up on the video. And it matches the Secret Lab chair I got a couple years ago. I'm not really a computer gamer, but being a Batman desk, I couldn't really pass it up. I think it goes pretty well in the room. It's pretty sturdy. The batarangs here are from Icon Collectibles. Real metal, and they're pretty heavy. This Riddler trophy is from Project Triforce. They shut down several years ago, but for a while they were making some pretty cool life-size props from the Arkham video games. And the end of my desk is a DC light box, which is pretty bright, and that's why it's off right now. This Riddler trophy does light up, but it's a little bit hard to see in the daylight. My dog bed and a couple custom pictures. This one's from Etsy. Actually, I believe all three of them are from Etsy. And that's the Arkham version of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. And some Jokers playing around a card table. A little bit hard to see with the glare. And then Batman's, different versions of Batman's playing around the card table as well. And then moving on, my first set of Moduspaces. These used to be called Moduspaces, and the company changed their name. They rebranded recently as well. But I pretty much have one case per movie or genre. Or if there's a lot of figures from it, then obviously a couple cases. So I have the first Suicide Squad represented in the upper left corner. The second Suicide Squad, waiting on Peacemaker from Hot Toys to get released. And the Birds of Prey movie, which I think is underrated. I liked it quite a bit. But I'm biased. I'm a pretty big Harley Quinn fan. I got to meet Paul Dini once. He created the character of Harley Quinn. I ran into him at Comic-Con quite a few years ago and got my picture with him. He seemed like a pretty nice guy. Moving on, this is Bat Signal is also from Jazz Inc. Dioramas. And then the Armored Batman from Hot Toys. Then I have a second BVS case. And this suit chamber is from Z Studios, I believe, and it also lights up, but I don't really have batteries. I don't have batteries in many of my items. I think they're fine without it. My Justice League case, waiting on Cyborg from Hot Toys, from Zack Snyder's Justice League, the far superior version. Without having any risers, I think these still display well. Having 3 of them, the Trinity, on their display bases. And moving on, a couple of Jokers. The one in the middle is, for anybody that doesn't know, the InArt, half of the InArt Joker. And the other figure that came in the 2-pack is right here. This is the first figure released by InArt, and they're associated with Queen Studios, who make statues, very high-end statues. These are first figures in the 1/6 line, and I am very, very impressed. Magnetic, swappable parts, as opposed to plastic pegs, which can break easily. Although it's not perfect, I think it's pretty solid figure. I like it quite a bit. Pairs well with the DX19. This is actually a DX19 from Hot Toys on a DX02 base. I just kind of like the look of the base better. And that's a custom Bane with a Fison body. And I'm waiting on the Hot Toys version of Bane and Catwoman to go on each side of the Batman figure. On the bottom, some Mondo Batman the Animated Series figures. Their colors really pop in the LED lighting. For anybody curious, I chose pure white for these cases, and you could also get warm white. Personal preference, but I like the look of the pure white, especially since a lot of these figures have dark colors, being Batman and all. So these say they're 6 scale, but they're a little shorter than 12 inches, but they do the job pretty well. Very good representation. And then Michael Keaton's Batman. I have my DX09 in the Batwing, so this is the Batman Returns version. And I forget the company that makes this armory, but they're on Facebook. And my Arkham video game figures. I have a couple other figures from this line, but I kind of ran out of room for now. And next to that is my life-size cowls and other masks. Only a couple of these are licensed, like the Adam West mask, the Flash up top, And then next to it, the Justice League version of the Ben Affleck Batman. That's about it. Everything else is custom made. People made them in their garages or factories. Most of them are from either Facebook Marketplace or different Facebook groups or Etsy. That Scarecrow mask I get questioned about a lot. It was on eBay probably over a decade ago when I got that. I haven't seen any like it since. It looks cool, but it's pretty scratchy if you're gonna wear it, as you can imagine. So my Moduspaces that are getting delivered this summer, I have 12 on display already of the DF30s. So they stick out from the wall about 12 inches. And they're about 2 feet wide by 2 feet tall, give or take an inch. And I have another 12 on order to go in this space to put more figures in. And then I have an additional 8 that are gonna go where this bookcase is. And I plan on putting all the masks on this wall in the cases once they arrive. And here's the Lego 89 Batwing and Batmobile. Pretty fun to put together. I think they display pretty well as well. And my graphic novel collection, all DC. And here's Val Kilmer and I. Batman Forever. Burt Ward, Adam West, Julie Newmar and I. I had the pleasure of meeting Adam West before he passed away a couple years ago. And also my kids and Kevin Conroy and I, who unfortunately passed away this last November. He seemed like a really, really great man, real genuine. Okay. Onto the larger cases. These are DF120s. So they're about 4 feet wide. And then the other dimensions are similar, about 2 feet high. And actually they're deeper than the other ones. So they're about 2 feet deep from the wall. There's a Hot Toys Batmobile, which they're re-releasing. A Jazz Inc. Batmobile, which is probably the favorite in my collection so far. This shelf has some random figures that are going to go in cases when I get more. But eventually, these are all going to have Batmobiles in it. There's a tumbler and Batpod from Hot Toys. And the newest version of the Batman Begins Batman. I thought the body was pretty good, but the head sculpt was terrible. So in here I have a custom head sculpt from Jackson Zhu, spelled XU. He makes custom capes and head sculpts, which I have several of. He does excellent work. Hot Toys is definitely lacking in their capes for the most part. Here's a stand I found on Amazon for my McFarlane 66 figures. And I also have some vintage figures on here as well. Mostly from the 80s and 90s. Up top is a custom pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern from the Long Halloween. And moving on into this hallway leading to my bathroom, I have several disc plates on the wall. I discovered that company about a year ago. They make metal posters that attach magnetically with stickers to the wall. Super easy system, and you don't have to be extremely accurate when you're putting them up because you can just move the poster around on the magnets. And then up top I've got posters for the 4 Batman movies I grew up with as a kid. I think the first 2 were definitely the best. It kind of went downhill from there. But Batman is Batman. Also from Icon Collectibles is life-size Trident from Aquaman. And a Margot Robbie mallet and baseball bat. So that's it for the room tour. Feel free to hit me up with any questions. Any questions on any specific pieces or just in general. Let me know what you guys like the best. A lot of these things you can still order from Sideshow. That's where I get most of my figures from. And I've had good luck with them, but I know they're not for everybody. But again, thanks for looking. I hope you guys have a great day and a great week. Take care.